All right, get your digital reader's notebook ready and go on over to the parking lot for Save Me a Seat so that you can stop and jot. There's a little reminder there of what you can jot. And we are reading chapter 21 today, Ravi, from his perspective. He just got hit with the ball. Remember last chapter? Okay. Coach Victorine comes rushing over to help me. Get the first aid kit, he yells. Everyone crowds around. I check myself, but nothing is broken. There is no blood, just a painful spot on my shoulder where the ball struck me. A terrible thought suddenly occurs to me. My glasses. But when I reach into my pocket and pull them out, I'm relieved to see that they are not broken either. What happened out there, Samreen? Asked Coach Victorine. Did you forget what game we're playing? Sorry, Coach, Dylan says. The ball must have been wet or something. It just got away from me. I didn't mean to hit him. Honest. It's nothing, I say, standing up and brushing myself off. Please, can I bat again? But Coach Victorine won't allow it. How about you take our young friend here down to the nurse's office so she can look him over, he tells Dylan. We don't want to take any chances. As Dylan and I walk to the nurse's office, it seems I do most of the talking. I have so much I want to say. Can you believe that Mrs. Beam thinks I need special help? I laugh. Ridiculous. You saw my Vedic math. Does she think I'm like Ramaswamy? Who? Asks Dylan. He was a boy at my school in India who couldn't read. Does she think I'm like him? Or Bigfoot? All he did yesterday when we were in the resource room was talk about candy and look at sports magazines. Ha! Make sure you tell the nurse it was an accident, says Dylan. I didn't hit you on purpose. No worries, man, I tell him. Do you know Kapil Dev, the most famous Indian cricketer? He came to Vidya Mandir as the chief guest at our sports day last year. My best friend Pramrod and I had our pictures taken with him. When you come over to my house, I'll show you, and you can see all my trophies too. And Amma will make dosas for us. Our garden is quite big. Maybe I can teach you how to play cricket, and you can teach me how to hit a home run. Dylan smiles at me and winks. I can hardly wait, he says. When we arrive at the nurse's office, Dylan reminds me once more to explain that he didn't hit me with the ball on purpose. Then he leaves and goes back to class. The nurse gives me an ice pack for my shoulder and tells me to lie down on a cot and rest. I close my eyes for a little while, and when I open them again, there's a girl in a green uniform standing in the doorway, holding my backpack and jacket. She's from my class. I don't remember her name. Mrs. Beam told me to bring Ravi's stuff in case he has to go home early, she tells the nurse. I'm fine, I say, sitting up. I don't need to go home. The bell rings, and fifth graders start coming down the corridor towards the lunchroom. The girl in the green uniform puts my things on a chair and leaves. Please, I beg the nurse, can I go to lunch now? Nothing is going to prevent me from eating lunch with Dylan Samreen. If you're sure you feel up to it, says the nurse, let me get you a fresh ice pack to take with you. It'll help keep the swelling down. The nurse takes so long preparing the ice pack that by the time I get to the lunchroom, Dylan has already bought his lunch and is sitting at the table in the corner by the windows, shooting straw papers with his friends. I look at the menu board on the wall. Today they are serving something called chili. I see someone eating a bowl of soup filled with red beans and tomatoes. In India, we call this kind of soup rajma. It's made of north it's more of a North Indian dish, but Amma makes it sometimes anyway, adding plenty of cumin seeds and black pepper to make it spicy. Rajma is served with rice, but American chili is served with some kind of yellow bread that looks like cake. I have my tiffin box with me, but I grab one of the plastic trays anyway and tuck it under my arm. I have a plan I am certain will help me fit in. Bigfoot is sitting at the same table where I sat on my first day. I walk right past him, straight to Dylan's table. I recognize some of the other faces: Robert Princenthal and Keith Campbell, Tim Jim, Tom Dinkins, and a red-headed boy called Jax. Excuse me, can you make some room for me, please? I asked Tom Dinkins, who's sitting next to Dylan. Tom Dinkins looks at Dylan. You heard the man. Move over, Dink, says Dylan. Then he laughs and snaps his head back to shake the hair out of his eyes, Bollywood style. I wonder if Amma would ever let me grow my hair long like that. Tom Dinkins moves over, and I sit down on the bench next to Dylan. I place the plastic tray in front of me, unbuckle the lid, open the top compartment of my tiffin box, and transfer the creamy white rata into one of the small square sections of my tray. I smile. Finally, where I belong. And that was chapter 20. So take a few moments and make sure you jot something down in your parking lot.